What is up, guys? Welcome back to another trading recap. Today, I made about $1,400 day trading, and in this video, I'm going to go over all of the things that led me to take this trade, my psychology, my risk management, the technical analysis that I used, and basically just everything that was in my mind whenever I was trading today. And I'm also going to go over a couple of the issues that I had. I had a pretty big issue when trying to take this trade, and you'll have to stick around to find out what it is. But yeah, without further ado, I'm going to get into it. So, coming into today, the very first thing that I noticed was we had potential for an amazing trading day. If you go on the 5 minute, you can obviously see we have all of this liquidity to the downside, right? On both indexes, we have a decent amount of liquidity to the downside, and pretty much almost nothing to the upside. We have these highs up here. Um, However, those are high resistance highs since they had already swept out this high over here and they formed a massive wick. The thing about that is, and I went over this in my last video, is I know that we don't want to come up here because this is choppy. Up here, it's choppy. All of the orders that are getting filled up here, yes, there's orders that will get filled up there, and it is a draw. However, it is not as smooth as this. You see how, especially on Nasdaq, all of these lows are just stacked up smoothly. That's what we want to target, and that's what we want to trade towards. So today, what happened? Market opened, boom. Nasdaq moves up, ES moves up. We actually made a 5 minute SMT from this high up to this high, and then this high down to this high. Perfect. I couldn't ask for more. Now I know that we are bearish. So at this point in the day, it was about 8:40, and I was like, okay, we're bearish. We're moving down. Now all I need to see is a continuation, and then I can enter. However, at that point, we had already taken out, you can see right here, this 5 minute retrace. I did not enter on that 5 minute retrace, and I'm going to tell you why. Because that 5 minute retrace was not a real full 5 minute retrace. You can see this was where that 5 minute retrace was at. We didn't even break structure to the upside. I can't enter on that if we don't break structure to the upside. So I had to wait for us to form another 5 minute retrace, and then I could enter. So I entered on this candle. Right after, you can see this candle pushed up. This was our 5 minute retrace, and then we broke structure back to the downside, and I entered right here on this candle. I got a pretty decent fill, and I put my stop loss at these highs. You can see take profit 1. I had to adjust a little bit because originally I was wanting to target these Asian lows, but as you can see, those already got taken out by the time I was entering. However, this didn't stop me from wanting to take this trade. I still knew that we had this internal liquidity from here to here, and I wanted to target that. So I put take profit 1 at this low and take profit 2 at this low. However, we did have a third low down over here. You can see that we did actually sweep through, but I didn't put a take profit on that low. I just closed out my entire position right here because an issue that I had on Tuesday, and I've had in the past before, is I'll be winning a trade and then I'll try and target an external draw on liquidity, which is this low, right? This is external because it's not within this move right here. This is far away. I would try to draw that. What would happen? Price would draw slightly towards it, maybe halfway down into here, and then it would reverse back to the upside because this draw wasn't strong enough. So today I was avoiding that, and I just said, screw this low. I don't want to, I have no intention of trading towards it. It's done. So today, obviously, this trade was about perfect. My dog's barking. But this trade was pretty much a perfect A+ setup. Moved right to take profit 2 and made about $1,400. But the downside of today that I said at the beginning of the video was, yes, I made $1,400. However, I could have made upwards of $5,000. I opened a new account right here, a Trade account, and I basically put, yeah, it's a 50K account, and I was full porting it, trying to pass it in one trade since there's no consistency target on it. And what happened? Well, I wasn't conscious of the daily loss limit, and whenever we came up here, I got stopped out at about $1,700 on that account. Now, if it would have came up here, I still would have been within my daily risk parameters and I would have been fine. However, I didn't realize that we had a daily loss limit on that account. So that led me to get stopped out of the position. And therefore, that account only has about $300 remaining in drawdown. And I'll get more on that later. You'll see what I'm going to do with that account. But for now, that was it. It was a good trading day. Psychologically, I think I was pretty dialed in. I didn't have that many issues. Although whenever I did get stopped out up here, I thought the trade was honestly just gonna go to shit. Since we were already like edging towards my stop loss up here, it is what it is. That account, I can't control that account. Getting stopped out. The only thing I can do in the future is be more conscious of those rules that are kind of hidden like that, like the daily loss limit. But yeah, overall, good day. We had unemployment claims today, so that's a perfect trading day. Tomorrow we have CPI. I'll get more on that later. Just hold on. But yeah, today 1400. You can see here's the calendar for the month. We're up 2,200, up 500 this week, which is good. We've rebounded from this loss, and yeah, everything's been going good. But back to the CPI situation and the account situation. Tomorrow at 7:30 Central Time, I'm going to be full porting that account on CPI News, and I'm going to be live recording the whole thing, and I'll upload it afterwards. So make sure you check out tomorrow's video because that is going to be interesting. It's my first time doing it. Quite frankly, I could lose the account or I could make all of the losses back and pass the account, but we'll see what happens. Now, I'm going to be doing that on the Trade account. I'm not going to be doing that on my main account because I just don't feel comfortable risking a full port on CPI on my main account when I could lose potentially all of the profits that I've made this month in one trade. That's not smart. That doesn't appeal to me. If you're new to trading, risk management is one of the most important skills that you can develop, and that is a risk management play on my end. It wouldn't be smart for me to full port both of my accounts and lose potentially everything. That is not smart. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to full port the Trade account that I have connected here, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns about today or just anything in your personal life, let me know down in the comments or reach out to me on Instagram. My DMs are open there, and I can help you guys out. But yeah, W day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning.